So I've been depressed for most of the year, and like any responsible adult, I tried ignoring my feelings and playing video games. I finished in fact The Witcher 3, which was an absolute masterpiece. I really enjoyed the game. I'll come back to it soon. I even played it on higher difficulty after the first few hours because I enjoyed the challenge. It wasn't all that challenging. I was mostly a couple of levels above what they recommended for each quest. Great game, great memories. After that, I think I tried Diablo 1 for the PlayStation, which was a horrible mess. I had issues. My character, you can export your character, and each time I exported it and tried another playthrough, I lost part of my inventory, which is not fun. And also there were levels for which I couldn't find the stairs for the lower level, for the next level, and I gave it a couple of tries. I don't know, I think 2 or 3 playthroughs, but then I abandoned it. I didn't get to finish the game. I played various NES games, and I'll maybe make a video on those soon, because I started treating them, you know, NES games usually are harder. They're made to get you to spend a lot of time doing the same thing until you master it, just like Souls-like. But this time I played the Unravel 2, which is on the Switch, which is a puzzle platformer, and each screen is a puzzle. Like, if you pass this screen, the next screen, even if you die, you don't get to play the whole level again. Each screen is practically its own level, and that gave me an idea on how to treat NES games, because I don't want to spend time playing the same game from 40 years ago until I master it. I just want to see how it goes. And I started using save states from time to time, and I'm not necessarily ashamed to admit it, but because I rather prefer to see what the game has to offer than trying to master it, at least not NES games. But on the other hand, I'm playing through Mortal Shell, which I think is my second or third Souls. Like, I haven't played any of the FromSoft games, only games that play tribute to them, like the Morbid series and now Mortal Shell. And it's easier for to get into this mindset for a modern game. Like, it hooks you better than, I don't know, a 2D platformer in my case from the NES era. I much rather prefer doing the same thing over and over on a modern Souls-like than on an NES. Okay, I played Mario Kart 8 Deluxe and Five Nights at Freddy's, the original game, from time to time with my kids. I'm trying to get 3 stars in all of the tracks on Mario Kart. Five Nights at Freddy's, I don't know, it's great. I understand what all the hype was about, but usually when I play it, it's late it's in the evening and I'm tired and I don't really I feel like playing something more relaxing. Yeah, so Final Fantasy V and how it became my cozy game. While playing all the games mentioned earlier, I kept remembering my playthrough of Final Fantasy IV, because last year I low-key decided to play all the Final Fantasy games, but starting with 4 because it's starting with 4. I think back then I asked some people on the internet, and the consensus was that if you want to play through the series and not necessarily all the mainline games, you can start with 4. But I'm not really sure how I got to this conclusion. But anyway, I played Final Fantasy 4 last year, and that was my first real JRPG, excepting Pokemon Fire Red, I think, but I didn't finish that one. So Final Fantasy 4 for, I think, the PS1 version was my first actual JRPG, and I wasn't used to all the level grinding and the type of game, basically. I have absolutely no nostalgia for the Final Fantasy series, as I haven't played them as a kid, and later when I became interested, when I more seriously became interested in video games, I kept hearing about the series, but when looking at how the games look, they didn't really attract me. They didn't motivate me to play them until last year. And my playthrough was a mess because I was not used to the genre. I was not all that in the mood for level grinding, and I kind of skimmed through the game and got real. I think I got to the final boss, and I was really under leveled, and I didn't know what to do, and I had to backtrack and do all the level grinding in one go until I was strong enough to beat the game. And it was not, I think I was not in the right mindset to give the game the attention it deserves, and I enjoyed it, but not to the full extent. But anyway, while playing the games mentioned earlier, I kept having flashes with Final Fantasy IV, and I think because it was exactly 1 year since I played it, or more or less 1 year since I played it, and I decided to start Final Fantasy V for the Game Boy Advance version, as I understood this has a better translation than the older versions. And this time around I really enjoyed it. The art style and most of the interface and the gameplay is similar to Final Fantasy IV, but with some improvements that I quite appreciated. And it slowly became my cozy game. Like, I'm playing through 3 games right now. I'm playing Mortal Shell, I'm playing Anima Gate of Memories, both of these are on the Switch, the original Switch, and I'm playing Final Fantasy V Advance on my Retroid, the Game Boy Pocket version. And I'm trying to give each game the same amount of attention, but I found myself going to Final Fantasy V more often after days when I'm tired, or when I've been stressed out, or when I'm not in the mood for something really immersive and really serious. And I think that's saying something about older games, or less immersive or less serious games. I don't know if serious is the right word, because the story from Final Fantasy V is pretty serious. The translation on the version I play has its moments of humor, and I don't know, it's something's happening to my brain when I play it. Like, it's repetitive enough. I mean, the fights and so on, they're repetitive enough to allow me to shut my brain off and just play. But the story and the music and even the graphics in this case are immersive enough so that I enjoy my playthrough, and I just don't play mindlessly. I just don't click and beat this, beat that, have this random encounter, beat this boss in the game. No, it's something somewhere in the middle between relaxing and shutting off your brain and enjoying the story and the gameplay. And the music. The music's great. I really enjoyed that they kept the same battle music from Final Fantasy IV. I don't know if older, like Final Fantasy 1, 2, 3 had the same music. I have no idea. I haven't played them. Yeah, so basically what I'm trying to say is that sometimes less is more, and if you have trouble finding a game that suits your needs, or maybe you have a rougher period and you're trying to relax playing video games, maybe try an older game or a game that doesn't take itself all that seriously, and I guess you might be surprised. Yeah, that's all I wanted to say for today. Bye.